Time stopped. The crowd held its breath, and in an instant, the impossible happened.
Letter again. There's Rooney. Overhead kick! Oh my!
Goals that hit you right in the feels, not just because they were stunning, but because of how massive they were. Today, you're going to see part 3 of the goals that made the whole world cry, scream, and cheer. Let's kick things off with one of the most genius goals in history. It went down on match day 11 of the 2015 to 2016 La Liga season. Barcelona versus Villarreal. Messi was on the injury list, and the responsibility to carry the team fell to Neymar. And the Brazilian didn't disappoint. The game started pretty chill, but at 26 minutes, Barcelona launched a rapid counterattack with men over. Suarez played it wide to Mathieu on the left. The Barca defender hit it hard, but the keeper Areola made a spectacular save with his foot. Then, at 44, Villarreal had a massive chance. The winger, Samu Castillejo, pounced on a bad clearance from the fullback Jordi Alba and risked a shot across the goal. The keeper, Bravo, came out quick and smothered the shot safely. Moving on to the start of the second half, Barca nearly broke the deadlock. Right at 47 minutes, Neymar whipped in a cross from the left. The forward Munir got a flick on with his head and Dani Alves almost scored. But Areola showed up again with an incredible point-blank reflex save. Then, on the 59-minute mark, Barcelona finally opened the scoring. A mistake from Villarreal playing out from the back. The ball fell to the defensive mid Busquets, who released Neymar on the left. The Brazilian drove into the box with space and coolly slotted it past Areola to make it 1-0 to Barca. On the 69-minute mark, the second goal came from a penalty. Suarez sent the keeper the wrong way to get his goal. The Camp Nou was bouncing, but the best was yet to come, and it happened late in the game. Barcelona hit them on the break. Neymar flicked it on with his head to Suarez, who bolted down the left. Suarez delivered the perfect cross, and in the middle of the box, Neymar, with his back to goal, pulled off a sick flick over the defender, spun, and hit it first time, burying the ball in the corner of the net. An unreal goal from Neymar. The number 11 pulled off a move that will be etched in the fans' memories forever. The game finished 3-0 to Barca, and Neymar's masterpiece went down in history as one of the most spectacular goals in La Liga history. The next banger happened in a derby full of rivalry on the 27th match day of the 2010 to 2011 Premier League season, United versus City. And what went down at Old Trafford was one of the greatest spectacles in the history of the fixture. Just 20 minutes in, City almost broke the deadlock. The midfielder David Silva played a 1-2 with the full-back Kolarov and lunged to finish in the 6-yard box. But the ball skimmed just wide of the post, leaving the keeper Van der Sar relieved. But at 43, Manchester United showed their strength on the counter. Ryan Giggs played Nani in, who burst into the box, cut inside, and slotted it precisely past keeper Hart to make it 1-0. Easy as you like. The first half ended with United in the lead, but in the second half, City fought back. Around the 64th minute, after a cross from the right, the striker Dzeko showed up to take a shot. The ball took a deflection off David Silva and completely wrong-footed the keeper Van der Sar. It was the equalizer for City. 1-1, the drama was just getting started, and the most magical moment of the game came in the 77th minute. Nani floated in the perfect cross from the right, and Wayne Rooney positioned himself like a genius to pull off a spectacular bicycle kick. The ball flew like a missile right into the top corner past Hart, who had absolutely no chance of stopping the worldie. An amazing play to decide the game, fitting for the all-time top scorer for the Red Devils. In that moment, the number 10 showed everyone who ran the city. A win for Manchester United 2-1 with a screamer that went down in history as one of the most incredible goals ever seen in the Manchester Derby. The next stunner also happened in one of England's biggest rivalries. Matchday 8 of the 2000 to 2001 Premier League. Arsenal versus Manchester United. A massive game that would be remembered for one of the most spectacular goals in the league's history. The start was cagey. Both teams were sizing each other up with no space to create anything. The first real threat came at 16 minutes when the defensive mid Roy Keane had a pop from distance. A rocket from outside the box, but the keeper David Seaman was alert and flew to palm it away. And then, at 30 minutes, came the moment that changed everything. The midfielder, Gilles Grimandi, took a quick free kick into the middle, catching the United defense sleeping. He passed it to Thierry Henry. The Frenchman controlled it with class, flicking the ball up in the air with his first touch. He turned his body in one perfect motion and unleashed an absurd finish, straight into the top bins past Fabien Barthez. The French keeper could only watch.
Henry! What a goal!
What a goal. Unbelievable. A goal worthy of one of the greatest strikers football has ever seen. United came out pressing in the second half. Right in the first minute, the winger Ryan Giggs popped up on the left, cut inside, and smashed it from the edge of the box. Once again, Seaman was brilliant and held on to the lead. Arsenal shut up shop intelligently, weathered the storm, and when the final whistle blew, the score was 1-0 to the Gunners. It wasn't just a win over one of their biggest rivals. It was the night Thierry Henry cemented his status even more as a club legend, with a goal that's still remembered as poetry in motion in the Premier League. The next goal was another banger in England, this time in the 2006/2007 Premier League season. Everton versus Chelsea on matchday 18. The Blues were fighting for the title and needed the win away from home, but it was Everton who took the lead. On the 37-minute mark, the midfielder Arteta opened the scoring by converting a penalty. Ball one way, keeper the other. A calm and classy goal. After the break, the Blues woke up. Right at 49, Chelsea answered back with the midfielder Ballot. He hit a precise free kick into the corner. The keeper Tim Howard dived, but the ball went in, leveling the match for the Blues. Chelsea was piling on the pressure, but it was Everton who took the lead again. At 64, Arteta took a corner, putting it perfectly on the head of the defender Yobo, who rose highest and headed it right into the top corner, leaving keeper Hilario with no chance. 2-1 Everton, a precious lead, but Chelsea needed the win. With 80 minutes gone, the forward Kalou got the ball on the left and passed it to Lampard at the edge of the area. The number 8 teed it up and unleashed a cannon into the top corner to equalize 2-2. What a goal. And in the 87th minute, the historic goal for Chelsea finally came. After a goal kick, Shevchenko flicked the ball on with his head, and it dropped to Drogba's feet, who controlled it on his chest with class, turned brilliantly, and in a flash, fired off a rocket. The ball looped over keeper Howard, and it was an absolute screamer from Drogba. Unbelievable. And thanks to that piece of art, Chelsea pulled off the historic comeback to make it 3-2. That season, Chelsea ended up finishing second in the Premier League. But Drogba's stunning performance with a goal that went down as one of the greatest of the season will stay in memory forever. And if you watched the video this far, I don't even need to say it, you're gonna smash that like button, right? And also subscribe to the channel so you can watch part 1 and part 2 of this series we're doing on the best goals from football's biggest stars. So I'll catch you in the next video. See ya!